It's black to move, and the king is almost checkmated. In fact, if only this pawn weren't here, you have a checkmate right here with your queen. But because the pawn's right there, we kind of want to look at other moves, right? So let's look at some other moves. If we sack our knight to get rid of this pawn, well, it's only going to create this. And let's say we go here and check. Well, he can always block. And then there's still a pawn here guarding the square. And now the king can potentially escape this way. So maybe instead you want to sack the rook. So let's say we sack the rook, okay? And then we do this. Again, we can't finish it either because there is a pawn here still guarding the square. So it doesn't look like we can finish this checkmate, right? But maybe let's look closer at what we have so far. So we know that this square is being blocked and threatened by our pawn. And then we also know that there is some blocking action by its own pawns. And this square is, of course, being guarded by our rook. So we are putting the king into quite a mating net. So just to humor ourselves, think, what if we do this anyways? Now, obviously, this pawn is going to capture our queen. But look at this rook right here. Can't this rook get into the action this way? In fact, we know that this square is being protected by our pawn. And if we get the pawn here and sacrifice our queen, and this is completely being controlled by a rook, then actually the king has nowhere to go, right? He's actually getting stuck completely if he takes our queen. And so it would seem that our plan of action would actually work because this coming down is not a true interposition because he is just going to get captured by a rook here. So the move that we dismissed initially actually is the correct move. Let's play it out. Check. He has to take. Now we check here. The only move, and then that is checkmate. This is completely guarded by our rook. Any escape squares are blocked by himself, and then we have a rook delivering the check. It's very hard to look for every iteration, every line in any move, but in a position where you had a move that might have yielded some promise, maybe look at it again and think about other pieces. What if our rook were here? How would that change everything? So think about what pieces could you plop and put elsewhere, and how would that affect the mate or the mating net? And then think about the sequence of moves and how you can make it as close to reality as possible.